With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine light for all living mysteries below. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine light Dharma for all living mysteries below. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine light Dharma for all living mysteries below. Okay, setting a proper motivation with 3 points. Refuge field, Bodhicitta field, and the purpose of this practice. Refuge field, let us visualize all the Bodhisattvas, the sources of inspiration for generating, cultivating compassion, the universal compassion, for cultivating the wisdom to dispel all our negative forces like pride, ego, attachment, fear, and so forth. These emotions, they don't do anything good to us, they harm us. Pride stops us from the growth. You will not listen to what other people say because you think that you know everything. Ego is one really the ground for destroying your own happiness. That you will never, with ego, no way by which one can experience this incredibly expansive, beautiful love and the joy. And without the wisdom, you just grab in darkness. You don't see the reality. Okay, so this is how you see the blessings from all the enlightened beings. Bodhicitta field, visualize your two grandparents and all the family members, including children, all the other sentient beings living on the side. And how you visualize them is so beautiful. To see them in the light of great affection, compassion, and so forth. And you are like the mother. Just take a moment and just imagine that you are the mother and how your mother gave you all benefits, love, affection when you were so vulnerable, age 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. And the purpose of this practice is to awaken the seed of perfection within you so that we experience the total fearlessness and infinite happiness. And that one doesn't regret when an intense tragedy hits you and that you fall in the state of shock. That shock means unexpected, where the noble beings, the beings who are more far-sighted with the wisdom and compassion to see the bigger picture of the world, of your reality in space and time, they will not be in shock. They're already mentally prepared. And not only prepared, they also know how to get over this problem. So that's all purpose. And that too, to ignite this light of the wisdom and compassion within you and within all other Dhamma sentient beings. With this mind, let's turn to page 3. And imagine that you are leading this recitation practice and all beings are joining you. And through the great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And through the great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And through the great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to guide flow sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to guide flow sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to guide flow sentient beings. And dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme of all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is free of elaborations. the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the leads here is complete peace, which through the knowledge of paths causes those helping migrants to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue and expand a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. The teacher, Sugata and protector to you are my prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines for the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I gem the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tejam datagato yavatat tejam chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tejam datagato yavatat tejam chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tejam datagato yavatat tejam chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by Tathagata, the cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar of Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching in silence how to turn to woods. Beyond our friends, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. Is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, are the obeisance. The forces of Buddhist teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Once and restores peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realization of not transfer with them is by teaching the truth of the sustenance that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Page 14. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the full destroyer, completely perfected, full awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the complete and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I persuade me of offerings and go for refuge. When, O Supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you based ourselves right, and said, I am supreme in this world. To you, her voice, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the three worlds, even of the best, to Lord you are prostrate. With the supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you are prostrate. Trust reflect like you, the three worlds are not, incompatible, wise one, to you are prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, filled of merit with qualities of vast ocean, to you the Tathagata prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies are prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to more precepts, to you the Sangha are prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly, this is a teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a cloud see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of false seeing, subdue the four faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Heart Sutra, page 29. I prostrate to the irretrievable gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Buddha was dwelling on the mass of vultures mountain in Rajgriha together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration that the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of profound professional wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, failing, discrimination, composite factors, and consciousness is empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unseen, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no eye, no ear, no nose, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element and so on, up to and including no mind element, no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation of the path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on independent professional wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifest a complete awakening to answer a possible, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the professional wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the professional wisdom, the mantra of the great knowledge, unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as truth since it is not false. The mantra of the professional wisdom is declared, Yatha Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Soha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train in the profound professional wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from their concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound professional wisdom just as you have indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara, those surrounded in the gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas were overjoyed and highly praised as spoken by the Buddha. Just imagine that you are there on the Vulture's Peak, where the Heart Sutra actually happened and the Buddha presided over. And imagine that you are sitting right in front of the Buddha Shakyamuni, Aravalokiteshvara, then Shariputra, and you are surrounded by your family members, your parents, your children, and all the beings with you, all sentient beings living on the side. And imagine that the Buddha Shakyamuni is exhorting us thus: don't remain in the fears of samsara. Come to us ultimate happiness, fearlessness, by invoking the seed of perfection within you, the Buddha nature, and you're hearing this, you're so pleased. You inform this to all your family members, your parents, children, and all the dimension beings, human beings, animals, insects, herbivores, hell beings, God and Goddesses, spirits, everyone, that everyone is so inspired to hear what you're saying of what the Buddha taught. And everybody's joining you to cleanse the mental defilements, to awaken the seed of Buddha nature by having the wisdom to see reality as it is, where your compassion, where everybody's compassion simply spreads so expansively that one experience, everybody experiences fearlessness and infinite happiness. Om Gate Gate Aragate Arasamgade Bodhisvaha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisattva Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgade Bodhisvaha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgade Bodhisvaha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgade Bodhisvaha. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dhamma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dhamma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dhamma, may auspicious and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Okay, it was mind training. As we learned before, that this 8 verse mind training is like a mirror for you to see your own mind and find whether you're happy, not happy, whether you are a sensitive person or not. It's all determined by your own mind. And your mind within that, you see that there are two classes, the resultant states and the causal states. When you're in a state of fear, a state of joy, these are all the resultant states. And what creates the joy is again a mental state, like, say, the compassion, wisdom, where the proactivity is there from your side, exerting some effort. That's the causal state. Compassion, wisdom, generosity, the sympathy towards other people, empathy, and so forth. So they give rise to the happiness. On the other side, the resultant state of the fear, resultant state of unhappiness, agitation. So these are all what involuntary happens in the form of the results. They are because of the causal states, where proactivity is there, like, say, the anger, jealousy, pride, empty pride, not the self-confidence, and the ego, the worst ways of the ego. So these are the one class of the minds which are responsible for creating agitation, unhappiness, fear in your mind, and the loss of friends. So knowing that this is the human psychology within the good positive and the negative. So our job, because if we want happiness, we get rid of the negative psychology and adopt the positive psychology. So this 8 verses teaches us on with the basic from thinking that the ego should be subsided, and self-confidence must be boosted. Sometimes people feel that, okay, I'm in spirituality, I should have no ego, I should have no self-confidence. No ego means no self-confidence. Then you just crush your self-confidence. This is where we go wrong. It doesn't mean that when ego is not there, then self-confidence should not be there. It's not true. Look at His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So how do you know that you have so much of self-confidence without the ego? Is anybody from the so-called high, low, anybody sits with you and they should feel comfortable. If they're comfortable with you, means you don't have the ego. Where some people, they don't feel comfortable with you. They feel, not that, not that they're egoistic, that they feel not comfortable to be with you. Particularly people who feel themselves as low or who do not have, self-confidence. When they sit with you, and a few seconds is not an issue. But for an extended period of time, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, if they feel really uncomfortable, which means that there's some problem with you, you have to work on this. Believe it or not, anyone from high, low, meet with His Holiness. Maybe the first few seconds, some people, they just go into tears, which means they could feel His heart. But some people do the projection, oh, he's such a big person in the world. So you go there, you have a few seconds of nervousness, and instantly the nervousness will dissolve. And then you start talking, you forgot that you are with His Holiness. You start talking to Him, right? And His Holiness just listen to you. He doesn't talk till you stop talking, right? And you talk, you carry the talk, and secretary comes, says your time is over, right? And then you forgot to tell what you have to inform, right? Okay, so this is a tremendous warmth, no ego there. On the other side, he's very confident. Who's ever big, short, you think, you meet with him, they could feel that they are small in front of him. They could feel that. They feel themselves so small, although they feel so, puffed up and so big. Other people sitting with His Holiness, they could feel that something is there with him, that His Holiness, for him, there's no difference. But you feel, those people, those who feel puffed up a little bit, they feel that I'm so small in front of him. Whereas those people who have low esteem, they just feel, so happy, and the ease comes. Okay, this is indication. For example, look at His Holiness when received the Nobel Peace Prize. So you watch the video, it's very beautiful. So all the people are there, the invitees were there, and His Holiness also there in the audience, and the person, the Nobel Committee member, the chairperson, he was announcing that His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, is the recipient of this Nobel Peace Prize. And then the person was taking the video of all the guests there. And then he comes to His Holiness, right? And you won't get the feeling that he was the one who was going to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. He was just so normal, right? So normal. And whereas, what is that? Wimbledon, right? Wimbledon winners, the one who win the Wimbledon competition, how do they express? So much carried away with excitement. They cry, they shout, right? So they have been carried away by the emotions. But His Holiness is so calm. There's no ego there. There's no the outburst of the energy there. It's so calm, controlled. So this is the control over one's emotions, one's mind. And then even an ordinary person goes there for some people to meet with the world leaders, some of the world leaders. I'm not going to mention the name of these world leaders, and you could feel as though like, no, I just regretted coming here. You feel sorrow, uneasy there. You can feel the other person's the haughtiness, the ego. You will feel that. And so in fact, I personally have been, with some people who behave very differently in different situations. I was really, literally, I could not believe it. This is humanity. The first, I was with my friend to meet Big Shot. And Big Shot and his and his secretaries were all there. And the Big Shot was so fond of my friend and being extremely like the homely feeling. And the secretary of the Big Shot, he was like, doing everything for you. And the Big Shot left, and we also left. And then I forgot something, one document there, so I came to pick that up. And the secretary of the Big Shot was there. And I was waiting for him because, it was in his office. And it took me like 5 minutes waiting for him. And his juniors were telling me that he's doing some prayers. Whatever religion that he's following, doing some prayers. It took him like 5 minutes. And he came out. He was not at all seeing me, and he just went past by into his office. And then I thought that, sometimes it happens. And I went there. And I introduced myself. I came here like this. And he's totally cold. Very different person. So pumped up with ego. Not even, looking at me like this. Wow. He was like a cat when in the front of the boss. As well as he's there to do everything for you. The moment the boss left, he's a very different person. This is a self-torture. If you behave like this, if I behave like this, if you behave like this is a self-torture. Nobody will love you, and you'll be very isolated. You'll feel very lonely. This is our weakness. So this is where these two practices, wisdom of emptiness, will tell you that there's no basis for ego. Ego is grounded on self-grasping ignorance. And there's no basis for this, why should you suffer unnecessarily because of your own emotions? Why should you have to trap yourself, shackle yourself in the pain of loneliness, in the prison of your own mind? Why? It's all because of the self-centered attitude. So this way, we need the 8 verses of the mind training. It is particularly to free you from the shackles of the self-centered attitude and self-grasping ignorance and the pride, empty pride. Of course, pride there too. One is a positive pride. Positive pride is the self-confidence. Self-confidence is required, but the ego is very destructive. It ruins you. So people will come with you if you have money, if you have power. If you don't have these two, with the ego, you'll simply push away everything else, everybody else away from you. You'll be very lonely. Okay. So this is to subdue our ego, subdue empty pride, subdue our anger, and to embrace with love and affection, to free yourself from all the mental imprisonment. Okay, ready? 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Dorji. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant in character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, I hold them dear, for they are rare to harm, find as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains to my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of their ignorance and concerns, and may I recognize all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my two collections, vast space that have amassed from working with this practice for great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds are blind by ignorance. Okay, the seventh practice. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri. You, the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. For all of you who, with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world. To all you Buddhas who visualize the real, I bow down. On every particles of Buddhist, numberless as particles, each amidst the host of Bodhisattvas. And I'm confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans and oceans of sound from the aspect of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Siddharthas. Beautiful guns, regal gardens, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense are offered to victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array offered to you victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, offer and bow down to all victorious ones. I've done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance. All these I openly lay bare before you. I lift my heart and rejoice in all the merits of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, hearers, still training those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. And you who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you are my guides, please turn the supreme will of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for aeons numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wondrous in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by making prostration, offering, confessing, rejoicing, requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, are now dedicated all this for the full awakened of all beings. Okay, short model offering. This ground anointed with perfume, streamed with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. It's on page 40, sorry. Page 40. Page 40. O Sajime Joje Mando Tam Ram Le Janyanda Gambade Sanya Shano Medabhayen Trogunam Daishalai Chabarasho. The four Dhammas of Venerable Gambapa. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practices on the proper path. And may I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four Dhammas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with ignorance and grasp to existence. Please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as the vicious and repulsive. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious wisdom of non-duality, the bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Rana Mende Lagam Nerate Ami. Okay, the foundation of all good qualities, the roadmap to enlightenment, the roadmap to fearlessness, the roadmap to infinite happiness. By Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After that, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karma follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me to always to be careful to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, and alertness in great question arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the breath motion vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I've fallen into the sea of samsara, so fall my other migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 times of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. When I'm clear recognition this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacified and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of karma body, especially inside. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gate of the fortunate ones, the supreme voyager of evil. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the 2 attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become please bless me to protect these vows and pleasures like my life. And having realized the importance of the 2 stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who showed the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all out and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of stages and the paths, may quickly attain the state of Vajratara. Maximum mantra. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, a Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land who snows, blossom tucked by your feet amid prostrations. Lo sa cha me cha la so va de le me ze ve te che re se che me ke me om bo jang de yang kan je ke be zo ye zo ga ma lo sa cha me sha la so va de ne me ze ve de Venerable Geshe, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sage of the land of the snows, Losantaba, at your feet I make prostrations. Okay, generally the mode of consummate yoga, this is the main practice. Thus far is the preliminary, preparing ourselves for this practice. So this constitutes of four things. What are they? Four things. Four things. Single point of meditation, renunciation, bodhicitta, and the wisdom of emptiness. Okay. So this makes things very comprehensive. So in your life, if you really want to, say, give some meaning to your life, those of us in your 20s, at the moment, you need to focus on your career, your studies, and so forth. But those who are already in their late 30s, 40s, and plus, it is high time for us to reflect on something deeper meaning for life, rather than just looking for means to fill your belly, right? Something deeper meaning. So we see that compassion, expanding compassion to make your family members happier, right? And the wisdom to become more sensible, where anybody feels like coming closer towards you. When they go through difficult times, instantly their thoughts should usually come in their mind. If that happens, your life is very meaningful. Okay. So with this first, the single point of meditation, 5 minutes, ready? Okay, given that today and tomorrow is going to be the last day, and therefore I would remind, I'm not too sure, once we disperse from this retreat, how many of us are going to see again, we never know, right? So for single point of meditation, this will keep your mind calm and peaceful. It's very important. Otherwise, this world, the world of it's like a rat race for all of us. Rat race, and so much agitation, tension, stress. So we need the provision to keep yourself calm and peaceful. So the single point meditation will greatly help us. And the most important thing is that if you really want to succeed in this practice, you should be taking care of the point number 3 and 4. What is point number 1? Body posture. Very good. Okay. So this is just to evaluate, right? Evaluate how successful you're able to grab at the things that you've learned before. So when I give the instructions, don't think that it's like music. You're getting it? These are things that we need to learn. Thank you. Karen, thank you. Okay, so that she grabbed things there. Good. Body posture. Number 2, focal point. Number 3, identify the errors of meditation. Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay, let us primarily focus for the body posture. Sit upright. This is very important, where body is flexible. And then the eyes not closed. The two things are most important thing. And if you start to have backache problem, so do we do the exercise? We did that on day one, right? So where you, oh, by the way, all the recordings are available. I don't want to do it here again. It's just a waste of time. If you're really interested for long-term meditation, any meditation, if the pains happen, what you do, all is available in the recordings. You will get it. You learn. Just to learn from there. Then for the focal point, the innumerable things, make sure that you learn it from a very standard tradition, standard lineage, I would say, with authentic lineage, not from YouTube. Then the number 3 is identify errors of meditation. That's so important. It's not just how long you sit, it's the quality, which means that you should be able to identify the mental laxity and excitement. If these two things happen, then even if you sit for 2 hours, it's just a waste of 2 hours. Rather sleep, right? Lie down, sleep, and or listen to music. That's better than just sitting like this, where all mental goes into excitement and laxity. It's just totally pointless. You do quality, give a quality practice. Okay. And should these two things happen, no need to worry. Go for number 4. Applying the remedies to overcome the errors, introspection and mindfulness. Oh yeah, ready? Okay. Next, the renunciation, for which we do the 4 seals. Okay, by the way, we'll do this breathing exercise. Ready? Okay. You remember?
All composite things are impermanent.
Oh no, what am I saying? Breathing exercise.
What?
Breathing exercise. This one, you remember this? Physical exercise, breathing? We'll do that. Do you do that? No?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay, ready? Fist. Pull through your knees, legs, ribs, then to your left. Then with the release the forefinger, block your right nostril and breathe. Keep down your hand. Again. Good. Again. Pull to your right side and block with the first finger. Block your left nostril. Breathe. Okay, pull down, breathe through both nostrils. Okay, so particularly when you breathe in, you have to make sure that your belly comes out. It should not go in. This is wrong breathing. As you breathe in, the belly should go out so that the belly will be, your lungs will expand down the diaphragm and in the belly. So the belly should come out. If the belly goes in, this is wrong breathing. Okay, just see, what are you doing? Touch your belly, breathe in and see whether it's coming out or going in. Breathe out, it should become smaller. Okay, how many notice that when you breathe in, the belly goes in rather than going out? Makes sense? Usually it happens. When you breathe in, the belly goes in. That's wrong breathing. So instead, breathe in deeply, belly should come out, and your lungs are being greatly exercised. But lungs, good exercise with the lungs, then the oxygen intake is going to be, of course, much more. And then gradually, with this exercise for like 2, 3, 4 days time, overall speaking, your body, your mental state will become more calm, fresh, and full of energy. This is what you will feel. Okay, good. Next is the renunciation. We do that on base 4 seals. The first seal, all composite things impermanent. Okay, so this is going to be guided meditation. Last time I said that today we'll do it without the guided meditation, right? Guided, without any instructions. So I just give the lines that we are in a when we are in a sync, in meditation. And then you do the reflection as much as possible. And then when I move to the second line, all contaminated things of nature, no need to hurry. Just wind up whatever you're doing and move to the second gradually. And likewise the third, fourth. And for the Bodhicitta is going to be like, for the Bodhicitta of the two methods. Of course, in group, it'll take a lot of time. So we do the 4 mesh bowls. But when you're by yourself, just by doing the 4 mesh bowls will not make your Bodhicitta grow. It'll sustain it, not grow. With the two methods, it'll grow. It'll make your Bodhicitta grow. Okay, so 2 methods must be done. And how are we going to do that? Both the methods in a single day, and doing these 2 methods is it consumes a lot of your energy. You could feel that. And when you're doing that, you may not feel that. And then the next 2 days, after 2, 3, 4 days time, then you just feel like extending it. Extended meaning, okay, now it's for the time for Bodhicitta meditation. Okay, still I have 2 minutes, still have 3 minutes, which means that you're extending it. You're delaying it. So that's indication that you feel tired before. So it's very tiring because of this. And make sure that you initially don't be too ambitious. The 2 methods, you alternate between the 2 methods. Today you do one, the next day you do the next method, rather than do both methods in one go. Okay. Yes.
Why is that?
Okay, so this is, you could, it's just like exercise. It's an exercise. Where your muscles are stretched, the yogic training, the yogic meditations, right? The traditions, you speak about the channels, all the channels through which the energy flows, and the energy and the mind, these are very closely connected. So, so the energy, first of all, the channels are being straightened, being made flexible, through which the energy flows very blindly, smoothly. And when the energy flows smoothly, then the mind becomes very smooth. So this is the whole thing. Okay, so your biology is related to your physiology. So with this, you're using the biology to bring about change in your physiology. With the physiology, then the subtle energy is kept under control. With the subtle energy associated with the mind. So these are physical body, gross body, biology, and then the physiology. Say what you do and the movements within your subtle energy, the subtle, the components in the body. Then with this, the energy, then the mind. So finally, our mind should be transformed. So this all how this is all connected. So the yoga, we speak about the yoga, it's not just a physical exercise. It's just a rudimentary. It's a very basic thing to take you to a more and more high level of the mind, mental state eventually. Okay, good. So,
Very quick question. With eyes open, do we do that during analytical meditation also?
okay, this is a good question. For single point of meditation, must with eyes open. For the analytical method, because analysis, you keep your mind active. Because it is active, sometimes you do it with eyes open, sometimes with eyes closed. Eyes closed, is less problematic with the analytical meditation. The whole purpose is that with the eyes closed, and is a single point meditation, your mind is fixed on an object. With the eyes closed, then you fall asleep. It's a very nice sleep. You're getting it? It's an extremely pleasant sleep. So this is not good. But it's analytical, your mind is so active. Because of this, that a meditation of the awareness of the mind. This is known as the awareness of the awareness meditation. awareness meditation, until you are extremely well prepared. Number one, the study of the Buddhist psychology. I call it Buddhist psychology because that when I say psychology, people instantly take it to the Freudian psychology. So this has nothing to do with Freudian psychology. You have to be, it's all about the empirical mind. You have to know how the empirical mind works. So you have to know the Buddhist psychology so well. So which is taught as a part of Nalanda Master's course, Nalanda Diploma course. So this is there. And then on top of that, you need to have vast the experience of your own workings of the mind in a day-to-day life. And then still the ability, extremely pliant mind, agile mind, dexterous mind, to see your mind, the movement of mind. It's not the movement of energy, movement of mind. You should be able to see that. And all the behavior of the mind, map of the mind. You should have a very clear picture of the map of the mind. We study in more detail in the diploma course and then the master's course. So with this, and then with the proper instruction from an authentic lineage or authentic teacher, then you will go to observe your mind. Otherwise, if you don't do that, if you don't qualify with these basic prerequisites, there's a danger that you can slip into. And the mind is very subtle. You don't see that. Because you don't see that, you can easily slip into laxity and eventually you sleep. That is a very dangerous thing. So we need, these are extremely noble meditations, very powerful meditations, but the failing to do it properly can have more harm than benefit. Okay. So, ready? Overall, say each of the four seals will take like, so it depends. It's not necessary. There's no hard and fast rule. If you're if you're doing by yourself, just the first line you can give like half an hour, second line and then half an hour. But in group, we don't have that time. We take like just 2 minutes, just to make sure that you're connected with these reflections. And then when I move to the second line, and you gradually you just start winding up what you were doing with the first, and move to the second. Are you good? Okay. First, renunciation. The meaning of renunciation. Renounce miseries. And the miseries, to renounce miseries, we need to know how to renounce the cause of the miseries. And the cause of miseries are the all kinds of ignorance, and particularly the subgrasp ignorance. To remove the various levels of ignorance, the Buddha taught the four seals. The first, all composite things impermanent. Reflect on the gross impermanence and subtle impermanence. all contaminated things that are suffering nature. Everything is the nature of emptiness and selflessness. You work on 4 essentials. Oh yeah, what is the benefit of this meditation? Number 4, transcending sorrow is absolute peace. We just feel this aspiration to experience this emptiness where all the sorrows dissolve, where all the agitations dissolve, the fears dissolve, pride dissolves, ego dissolves, and the freedom of lightness dawns in you. Absolute peace. This aspiration for this absolute peace and the experience of this emptiness is the most refined understanding of the renunciation. We can slowly come out of this before we move to the next Bodhicitta. Are you ready? Bodhicitta, we will do that on the basis of 4 principles. Okay, this is going to be guided meditation. Are you ready? Okay. Immeasurable. Okay. For the Bodhicitta, this is a very beautiful mind, yet we have never experienced before. Unconditional love towards all beings. For this, we need a great inspiration and blessings from all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas who embody incredible good compassion and the wisdom. So let us reinforce the visualization of all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas in space of us. And this Bodhicitta is for all the demon sentient beings. Let us also reinforce the visualization of all the demon sentient beings around you. Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my demon sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. The cause of happiness primarily consisting of the wisdom of emptiness, the most Vedas mind, and Bodhicitta, the most beautiful mind in this world, in this universe. May all my dear sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that we make such a courageous commitment, like the mother after all these many years of hardship in raising her children. Today, the eldest daughter, just aged 12, and the eldest son, aged 11, two of them come to the mother, tell the mother, we're already grown up, we'll take care of all our siblings. Please, Mom, you take rest. You love us so much, you did everything for us. We love you so much. The mother couldn't believe her eyes and ears. This is exactly what is happening to all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. To see that we make such a courageous commitment. Witnessing that we make such a courageous commitment, the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they feel extremely loving, compassionate, happy, and proud of you. And this pride and happiness invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars of soothing light towards you and all demon sentient beings. The mere touch of light and nectars with the body beings yours instills in all happiness and causes happiness in the minds of sentient beings you yourself. And you, witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the demon sentient beings. You intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my demon sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering? Cause of suffering primarily consists of self-grasping, ignorance, and self-centered attitude. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhists and Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment, they intensely have been proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke the compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars of soothing lights towards you and all demon sentient beings. The mere touch of light and lies and nectars with the body beings yours, washes away all the miseries and causes of miseries from you and ultimate sentient beings. And you witnessing such miracle assembly towards all the sentient beings. You intense happy. Take three deep breaths out with relief. Immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dim sentient beings are never separated from happiness and causes happiness that they endowed with. May all my dear sentient beings never be separated from the happiness and causes happiness that they endowed with. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and causes happiness that they are endowed with. And Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you are making such courageous commitment, the intense happiness and proud of you. This bright and happiness invoke their compassion and omniscient minds with send forth nectars for sweetness towards you and ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of light and nectars with the bodies and beings yours stabilizes the happiness and causes happiness the beings endowed with. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all ultimate sentient beings. You are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound with relief. Immeasurable equanimity. The fact that the beings are suffering is all because of the biased attitude. So with the practice of equanimity, you get rid of the biased attitude of all the beings. How good would it be that all beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abiding the great state of equanimity, embracing all other demon sentient beings equally, leaving them aside. May all my demon sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I'll take the responsibility that all my demon sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing the you make such courageous commitment, the intense happiness and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke the compassion of omniscient minds to send forth nectars for soothing lights towards you and ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies beings yours frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some and aversion towards others, making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other demon sentient beings equally, leaving them aside. And you witnessing such a medical assignment to us all as demon sentient beings, you are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound with relief. Underscoring all the four immeasurables is unconditional love towards all demon sentient beings. Imagine that you are looking at, with intense love and affection, you're looking at the eyes of all each of the sentient beings. Your mother, father, your children, and all the demon sentient beings, human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, hell beings, god and goddesses, spirits, everyone. To the extent that each one of them feels your love and affection, that they feel themselves so special in your eye. With folded hands, let us make this bodhicitta commitment 3 times, wholeheartedly. Be it superficial, it doesn't matter. This is how we grow, and this is the only factor which guarantees your infinite happiness, without which, even with the most powerful wisdom of emptiness, you cannot have the infinite happiness. Let's say this Bodhicitta 3 times with the most beautiful mind in this universe. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother Sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother Sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother Sentient beings. Abundance is most beautiful mind, Bodhicitta. And slowly transform this beautiful mind, Bodhicitta, into a spotless green moon disk, 2 inches, 1.5 inches in diameter, horizontally sitting with the heart. It's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha. But how do you know that you can become Buddha? No matter how much you know that, no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil come out of that. How do you know that you can become Buddha? Yes, I'm not a handful of sand. I'm not a handful of sunflower seeds. Of the Buddha nature with me, the incredible treasure, the potential with me, the Buddha nature with me. But how come that since time immemorial till now you don't become Buddha? Yes, that's true. It's all because that I'm so deceived by the 2 demons, self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude, that they continue to obscure this beautiful treasure. And today I'm disillusioned by these 2 things. How going to then remove these 2? But it's a very powerful remedy. What is that remedy? The wisdom of emptiness. This is the only liberating path which can liberate you to Buddhahood. All other paths, compassion, Buddhism, and so forth, they are referred to as the ripening paths, not the liberating path. So only the wisdom of emptiness alone is like the axe to cut the poisonous tree of the self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude. Okay, what is this? Let us quickly meditate on the emptiness today, the emptiness of somebody who loves, or okay, let's say the beautiful thing that you love so much, like the flower, or like alcohol, anything that makes you so addicted and fond of. Let's say a flower. Just visualize a beautiful flower, rose flower, in front of you. And also, if you have your own garden, you can remember the beautiful flowers, or that any flower that you've met, that you've seen in your life. Think of that flower. How does this flower appear to you? This is in lieu of the identified object negation. Yes, it appears so object real, not like a dream. So this belief that this flower exists objectively, so real, objectified there, this is this chronic self-grasping ignorance of the flower. How do you know that this? How do you know that this is the ignorance? How come this is not a valid mind? Remember what Arjuna said. If the mirage were to be water, were not those close by the mirage see water? Likewise, if this flower were to exist objectively, why don't I see this flower as I go closer to this object? Okay, let us now go closer to this object. The mind which goes closer to this object is known as ultimate analysis. In technical sense, let us subject this flower to ultimate analysis. Subjecting this flower to ultimate analysis, just ignore all those things which are not the flower. Okay. Subjecting this flower to ultimate analysis, we see that we come too close to it, to the extent that we start to see the cells inside. And through further fine-tuning the ultimate analysis in the form of the electron microscope, you start to see the nucleus, then the chromosomes, so repulsive to look at, then the DNA molecules, then the atoms. Okay, stay there. You can go more, you can go deeper. Stay there. Okay, what do you see now? I'm just seeing pool of atoms. Okay. So now that you are too close to the object, if there's objective flower, you should be able to see that. What do you see now? I just see these atoms, and there's none of these atoms. Which of the atoms is the flower? None. If you are sure of this, that none of these atoms is the flower in the eyes of the ultimate analysis, you are seeing the emptiness of the object being, the flower being intrinsically one with its parts. Okay. If it is not to be identified as one with its interesting one with its parts, then see if it is see if this flower can be found as objectively real, as intrinsically different from its parts. Removing all the atoms, what is there? Nothing is there. If you're really sure of this, that I'm discovering it, I'm not inventing it, I'm discovering it, you are getting some clue of the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically different from its parts. Okay. So now, given that both these possibilities are ruled out, don't you think that it means that from the object there's no flower at all? Yes, that's very true. These are the only two possibilities, and both of them are ruled out. So with this, objective flower is nowhere to be seen. That's true. Okay. If you are sure of this, you get the fourth essential. Essentials of pervasion, understand pervasion, that anything which is empty of being intrinsically one and intrinsically different from its parts entails the emptiness of the objective existence of the object. Okay. So now from the object, what do you see? What do you see as the flower? Nothing is there from the object. To my amazement, this is what I'm discovering. This is amazing. Stay in this experience. A tinge of a fear can come in you. A tinge of a tranquil experience can come to you. A tickling sensation can be felt. Cold waves can flow through your body. Okay. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. With most sense of studies, reflection, and meditation and emptiness, eventually this will happen to you. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, slowly transform this wisdom of emptiness into a spotlessly clean, thumb-sized white vajra. White vajra, vertically sitting on the Bodhicitta heart. Okay, so this is the two Bodhicittas. This is the set of the two Bodhicittas. Now we need to have the non-duality of these two Bodhicittas together as one. You're very fortunate that you have this known symbolic of the conventional Bodhicitta, the desire, the beautiful altruistic desire to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. This guarantees that your self-centered attitude is going to be exterminated. And the Vajra is symbolic of the ultimate Bodhicitta, which is the non-dual wisdom of emptiness of the Arya Bodhisattvas. This guarantees that all the mental stains, mental afflictions, afflictive obscurations, and the cognitive obscurations, all to be gotten rid of. Wow, this guarantees that you're going to attain the fearlessness, the infinite happiness. Wonderful. Let's not forget that your two grandparents, your children, and all your dear sentient beings, all your family members, everyone, they're all suffering there. Yes, with intense compassion towards them. This intense compassion, invoke the Vajramurti to heart to multiply infinite number of times, and share them with your mother, father, with your grandparents, with the children, and with all the sentient beings. She once said, Rajamun, at the heart of your mother, one at the heart of your father, one at the heart of each one of your children, the family members, all the dear sentient beings here in Dharamsala, in your own country, in the world, in the entire universe. Okay, that's amazing. Wonderful. Now you feel so safe that all your dear sentient beings are safe now. But meanwhile, let's not also forget that all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, His Holiness the Dalai Lama is here. And all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they're watching us. So why not we invite all Buddhist Bodhisattvas to be the guest and also the witness to our undertaking the ceremony of taking the experience Bodhicitta vow as a gesture of inviting them as a guest and a witness, along with all demon sentient beings. Let us slowly stand to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Okay, sit on your right knees. So now that you know the meaning of the verses and also the visualization and so forth, and let us turn to page 50, I think. Yes, page 50. The most important thing is the reflection on the meanings. Let us reinforce the visualization of all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas in the space in front of us, as so loving, caring, embracing. The way the manner in which your 2 parents, knowing that you just imagine you as the 5-year-old girl or 5-year-old boy for the first time in your life, you make a public appearance on behalf of your school, and your parents feel so proud of you. They leave all their works for that day to join the audience, waving their hands to you, saying that we are here, we are so proud of you. And this is what all Buddhist Bodhisattvas are feeling today. You like the young girl, the young boy. And then not only yourself, you take along with you all your siblings. And this is exactly how you're doing, to bring all the demonstration beings to join you in this ceremony. And your parents and everyone you can think of, even those who are deceased, those who left the world, imagine, visualize them with you and all demonstration beings together. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I'll generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and I shall too successfully train in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I'll generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and I shall too successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I'll generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and I shall too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Feel the joy of having received the explanation Bodhisattva vow and the commitment. There's no commitment at all attached. If at all you want to do something, just make commitment that from today onwards, I will be as helpful and kind towards other people. And my job is just to keep watch on my own mind, to make sure that I don't give in to the ego, pride, anger, and so forth. And should they arise, I should be mindful to mitigate the power of these, and instead try to expand my compassion and the not to harm others. Okay, so this is incredibly great. The act that you embrace today. Imagine that you are the mother after all these many years of getting complaint from the school principal, and today's school principal congratulated your mother. And the mother was surprised. Why? That your son and daughter, both of them, appointed the best students of this school for this year. The mother couldn't believe her eyes and ears, tears rolling down her cheeks. This is exactly what has happened to all the Buddhists. They feel so happy and proud of you today. So since time immemorial, what we have done, we've only brought with pride, anger, arrogance, and with the malicious thoughts, always harming others and so forth, and not doing anything good for yourself. And today, for the first time, you have done something wonder. And this made all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas extremely proud of you. Your parents, just as the parents were so proud of your performance. This is what all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas are feeling today. With this incredible joy and the pride the Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel, this pride and joy invoke the Vajramoon at the hearts of all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas to multiply infinite number of times. And they descend to merge with the set of Vajramoon at your heart, thereby blessing, become non-dual, stabilized and blessed. Likewise, the innumerable replicas of the Vajramoon from the hearts of Buddhist Bodhisattvas, like rain shower, they descend to merge with the one that visualizes the heart of mother, at the heart of father, at the heart of each one of your children, each of the family members, each of the beings, animals, insects, hungry hell beings, God and God spirits here in Dharamsala, in the world, in your country, in the entire universe, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized and blessed. This is amazing. And of all the gifts that you can think of to give to the sentient beings, to your mother, to your children, and this is the greatest gift, and today you gifted them with this gift, so precious. And all the offerings that you can make to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, the Buddha himself very clearly proclaimed that meditating on a single moment of compassion far excels the gifts of the whole universe filled with gems and offered to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. One moment of compassion far excels that. So if this is the case, what is the mention of our having taken the special Bodhicitta vow for the benefit of all different beings? Amazing. So today you have made the offering, the greatest of the offerings to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. And should there be a purpose for life, this is the greatest of the purpose, and you have extracted this purpose. You have given such meaning to your life. And this is all happening because of the kindness of all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. As a gesture of thanking all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, again with all different sentient beings, along with all different sentient beings, let us slowly stand to make 3 prostrations of all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Okay, please take your seats. Page 51. Yes, indeed, we are very fortunate to have taken this aspirant Bodhisattva vow in the place where His Holiness the Dalai Lama lives, who really embodies the great compassion in this world. So we are very fortunate. So what about our future lifetimes? So for that, we need to connect ourselves with these 2 teachings on Bodhicitta, wisdom, and emptiness in the future lifetimes through a very powerful prayer. So we say this together 3 times. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided with the compassion Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicitta even in the cosmic life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by the compassion Buddha
and be able to call the Buddhist.
Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucidly seized an awakening mind of bodhicitta in this way should highly praise it in the following manner. Today my life has borne fruit. Having well obtained this human existence, I've been born in the family of the Buddha, and now I'm one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall it disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in a heap of rubbish, likewise, by some coincidence, an awakened mind has been born within me. Is the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the sovereignty of death. Is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world. Is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. Part of conditioned existence. Is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth. Is the dawning moon of the mind that dispels the torment of the disturbing conceptions. Is the great sun that finally removes the mystic ignorance of the world. Is the quintessential butter from the churn of the milk of Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the bounties of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and actually place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I invite the world to be guests at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight. May gods, demigods, and all be joyful. Meditation prayer. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine, the scripture, and insight. May I know all life through the forces merit. May I never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahana vehicle and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages. From our collections, vast the space that have amassed, from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become cheerleading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom is blinded by ignorance. Okay, in future, should you meet with anybody and they ask you what did you do in the Buddhist Institute, you can say that I learned something about the Mahayana Buddhism, Nalanda Buddhism. What is that? So it says here, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, all the stages of the path. What are they? Renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom of emptiness, the perfect that is wisdom of emptiness, and the 2 stages of Tantra, which stay away from for the time being. Right? So the first 3 plus single point of meditation. The 4 things that we but keep the truth is keep it there, because that finally when you are matured, then this extremely precious, because people abuse Tantra today, because they don't know Tantra, and they see it so like this like a shortcut. This is not a shortcut. Somebody who's handling Tantra is like handling a rocket, right? Rocket, even with a tiny stone, it can explode. Yet it has a tremendous power to move like any idea. By the way, yesterday, one of my friends, school-time friends, many very, very, very young, and we did not meet for the last almost like 30 years. And he was present yesterday, and he is now the aerospace engineer in America. Yeah. So why said it? Oh, rocket, yes. Yes. So walking, there's no danger, right? It's stone, somebody throws a small pebble on you, it's fine, you can just move like this and keep walking. But it will not reach far away. Walking, it takes a long time and it's also very painful. With a rocket, it flies like, what's the speed? Any idea? What's the speed of the commercial flights? 800, 900 kilometers. And what's the speed of Concorde? Concorde, 1,000? It should be more than 1,000. Yeah, so, but then, of course, more than 800. And the rocket, maybe like minimum 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 kilometers. So it's so fast, but very risky. One pebble is good enough to explode it. You getting it? So we should be extremely prepared. With these things intact, renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom meditation, Singapore meditation intact, you are ready for the rocket tantra. Till that point, don't jump. It can do more harm than help. You getting it? This is my warning. Okay. So this is the essence of the Tibetan Buddhism. Bodhicitta. If somebody tells you what you learn, or some learned, great teachers, the Geshes, Khenpos, and so forth, if they ask you, hey, what did you learn? You just say compassion or wisdom. No, make it very precise. Renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom emptiness, and Singapore meditation, right? Then they will take it very seriously. And if you have some questions, they will take it very seriously. Otherwise, they will just give you very shallow answers, right? With these, they will give you very serious answers. What do you want? You want serious answers or shallow answers? If you want serious answers, you should be able to give these technicalities, right? So we also learn the technical parts. You have to use the technical words, the technicalities, so that other people will take you very seriously. Okay. Yatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyatha